shout out to the person that commented for me to showcase the Act 3 Mercenary, because I actually think this is pretty cool. I think the Act 3 Mercenary is highly slept on. I'm taking off all of my aura gear so I can showcase him. He's got Crescent Moon, Gloom, just for the strength to hold the spirit, and then he's got Griffin's Eye, so let's see how he does. He actually wants to fight. Man, a little bit lazy. Holy moly, really? Okay, yeah, I don't know about him. I do know the fire one is really good. I mean, of course, I wasn't fighting or anything right there, so I mean, I was basically being a useless teammate to him, but at the same time, I mean, I shouldn't have to necessarily do too much. He's clearly underpowered, even though he's got godly gear on. So let me show you this with the Act 3 Enchant Mercenary. I actually think that's the best one in my opinion. The cold one's alright, but I think the enchant one is awesome, because if you get an Act 2 Blessed Aim Mercenary, Act 2 Blessed Aim Mercenary is going to give you 330% attack rating. Act 3 Enchant Mercenary gives you 317, and in addition to that, you can actually pump up their fire damage pretty high, like 3,000, 3,500, something like that. And one thing I noticed, like with like the lightning, is like you have such a low bottom end on your damage from lightning, but with fire it seems like the mid range is a little bit higher. So let's get us Act 5. Look at that, 317% on that enchant. I mean, of course, I would be wearing my gear, so the enemies would be dropping a lot faster, but I don't want people to be like, oh, well, that's because you had dual dragon and blah, blah, blah on. The real reason that the enemies were dropping is because...
I'll put that to good use.
Wait, Hand of Justice. Oh, Phoenix.
I can't use that yet.
Can't hold that, but he's holding a Phoenix. I wish I had like a spirit sword or something to hand him. He can only use swords. I wish he could use Hodo. That would be pretty cool. I don't think I even have a spirit sword to give him though. And he can't hold the phase blade. Look at what his damage though is on the fireball already. And then we got more attack rating now than we do from the Act 2 Mercenary. Unless of course he's wearing some plus the skill gear. But we've got negative enemy fire res. We've got more negative enemy fire res. If we had just a little bit more dex, maybe we put a different armor on that would give us the ability to hold the sword or have a spirit sword. He would be pretty strong. I actually want to show him though with the yeah, I think it's safe to say that he's stronger. I didn't give the other guy battle orders either, so, but I mean, we just got, I think the other mercenary would have just died right there. Like, we spawned in and he just starts clapping shit, and he doesn't even have the sword yet. So I mean, honestly, I think the fire one, the enchant one, especially if you're using a melee character, I think this is like a no-brainer. This is a really good mercenary. I mean, I could imagine having like a fireball Ormus with like a perfect amethyst in it instead of this, and then we get the 10 strength and then run like a spirit sword probably. I think that would be an awesome combo. And then maybe even run a flickering flame instead of this for the helmet, and we would be in a really, really good spot. Look at that. I think he's enchanted me. So I mean, I've got pretty good attack rating on top of also having the conviction art. So this is not a bad mercenary decision by any means. I really actually like this mercenary. I wish that he had better strength and better dexterity so you could have a little bit more flexibility with the gear, because I think at that point more people would use it. But as it currently stands, it's a little bit It's a little bit tricky. It's almost like a puzzle coming up with enough strength and dexterity for him to wear all the gear that you would benefit the most from. But I mean, Gloom is a pretty good mercenary armor. I never see anybody use that. Dim vision when struck is really useful, especially if you telestomp crowds. As long as you don't really need like a curse or something, because the dim vision can override it. But I mean, I like this mercenary a lot. I think my favorite mercenary obviously is the Act 5 mercenary, because I'm a barbarian myself. But aside from that, this might be one of my new favorite mercenaries, and I feel like if you have conviction on yourself already, like for this, I could maybe even come up with a pretty cool Act 3 mercenary for the Infinity Spears on, even though I'd lose a little bit of attack speed. Maybe even go with like a Treachery, and then I could just run an Act 3 that'll just go around clapping everything, and then, you know. But everybody have a great day. Hope you appreciate this video. I appreciate you. Hopefully this opened up. I mean, look at his damage even with without any gear on. I mean, his damage is pretty decent, and you add a little bit of range on there. So maybe you're playing with a Zeal Paladin or something with conviction that doesn't have Dragon and Dream and all that high-end gear and shit. So something like this could help a lot. Take it easy. I'll catch you on the next one.